Well, hello there, everyone. I'm Bullet the Shep, and I'm here today to interview Ratchet. So, Ratchet is just starting out on Twitch. He's been doing this YouTube thing for a little while, but, we haven't made many videos like this. So, alright, we'd like to start off the interview by asking you, how'd you get started in the fandom? How old were you? What got you interested? What led you here?
That's a long story, but essentially, when I was like 15, 16, I was super into the Ratchet and Clank lore and community coming from the games. You know what I wanted to find more than anything was more story. I wanted to find more of the fiction, more of it. So, my 15-year-old Fox Kit little self me is on the internet, and I'm like, is there more? Have they put anything out? Is there any comics? Can I find some? I don't know what this is that I'm doing with my paws, but they're like, can I find something else from the story? And so I stumbled across fanfiction.net. And on fanfiction.net, which I don't even know if it's still around, it might not be, there was all kinds of stories, and a few of them were written by furries. And I didn't even know what furries were back then, but I was still like, this is interesting. Now, a few of those stories had links to DeviantArt, and I kind of went over to DeviantArt and was like, there's a lot of pictures people are drawing of the characters. This is interesting. I liked it a lot, and I was way too young to think about it in any kind of other context than that, and that wasn't what it was about. I just was into it. I thought it was cool. So, I fired up a DeviantArt account, which I think is still around somewhere, but I haven't been on it in many years. And I started following people, and I started getting into the community a little bit more, and a little bit more. And eventually I found out about Furnet. Furnet is IRC, and if you don't know what IRC is, I'm not shocked. It's kind of an old thing from a long time ago. On Furnet, I started to kind of poke around and adventure through some channels, and we're fast forwarding about a year right here of just kind of poking around at Furnet. I think I got on Fur Affinity. We won't really talk about Fur Affinity, but I think I got on there, and I kind of just was meandering around and getting into trouble here and there, basically. So around the time that I turned 17, I got onto Second Life, and man, that was just a new world that opened up for me. Oh man, wow, that was just crazy. You get on there and you're like just immersed immediately in just so much going on. And so basically from that point, I kind of was like, all right, I'm pretty sure I'm into this furry thing, but I don't really have a persona or an avatar or anything like that yet. And that basically I found the fandom through fanfiction for the Ratchet and Clank video game series, and then really started to get into the fandom on Second Life.
Oh, well, that's super cool. I liked Second Life back in the day, too, but I don't know. Anyway, so, segueing off of that, what was your first convention? And any fun stories about it?
Oh, man. First convention. Well, as a wee little fox kit of 17 3/4, I made Texas Furry Fiesta 1, the very first year, 2009, my first con. And it's the only con I went to when I was under the age of 18. And because of that, my mother went with me. And, she actually was really impressed. She was like, wow, this is so wholesome. Everyone's so nice to each other. And I was like, yeah, Mom, that's exactly what's going on. Everything is perfect. Yep. The community was really interesting back then. A large con was like 2,000 people. And, this was my first con. It was about 500. And it was great. There was all kinds of interesting things that happened there. There was a fursuit parade, and there was this photo shoot outside. They never got to do it again because they were scared people would get in car accidents because of the fursuits. So they only did it once that first year. There was a photo shoot outside, and, maybe I can even include some footage in this video. I don't know. But there was a photo shoot outside, and there was all kinds of stuff. And I was running around, man, since I was like 12, I was into video cameras. So I brought a video camera with me, and I shot all kinds of footage at the convention, and I was into it. It was super cool. And yeah, so that was kind of my first con experience. I got to meet fursuiters and do all kinds of stuff. I'd been to a few furmates before that, but nothing like this. Nothing where there's just so many fursuiters, so much going on. It was just crazy. Totally awesome. Okay, now, for the penultimate question. Why Ratchet? Like, why what?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean, why the name Ratchet?
Oh, yeah, it is an interesting name. Now, my name came from the Lombax character for Ratchet and Clank. That's it. The terminology of calling a person Ratchet as a state of existence hadn't really come into being yet. Although I kind of fit that bill too sometimes. I don't know. But, yeah, so once I got onto Second Life, going back to our earlier story, once I got onto Second Life, I had a problem. I didn't have a persona yet, and I needed to really figure out what I was going to be, and I wanted to be a Lombax. I wanted so badly to be a Lombax. That was my thing. I thought, you know what? I just was in love with Ratchet in some of the weirdest ways. But yeah, so they didn't have those back in that time on Second Life. They just weren't a thing. So I got into the places where you buy avatars, and I think my first avatar was a Luskwood fox, which is this very cartoon-looking fox thing. And I just kind of went with it. I definitely fit the bill of a fox. I'm a little goofy. I'm a little flirty. I'm a little sneaky. It just kind of fit me, and I haven't really looked back. A lot of the features of myself, like these rings, came from that Second Life avatar. That was really my existence for about 3 years, from like 2009 to 2012. I was just all about Second Life. That was all I did. I was a couch potato. But then I started getting into doing AV stuff and getting all out and crazy in the world and didn't have the time for being on the internet as much. Anyways, that's the story of how I got my name. I kept the word Ratchet because whatever, and I'm a fox because that's what was available and what kind of fit.
Oh, was your story finished? Oh, okay. Well, the next thing on my list is I was curious if there's any kind of video games you like to play. I heard you started a Twitch recently, and I'm curious what you play there.
Oh boy. All right. I kind of like a little bit of everything, I'm not super into like the horror genres or everything's just trying to jump scare you. I don't like jump scares. They're not my thing. That doesn't chill me out. But I definitely like Far Cry 5. I've been playing that a bunch. I just started The Witcher 3, which is kind of the farthest into that jumpy, scary thing I've gone, but it's been really fun. There's so much butts in it, too. Oh my gosh, there's so many butts. I don't know why there's so many butts in there, but I mean, I don't mind. But it's a lot of butts. Anyway, so Witcher 3, and then there's the other genre I like to play is like the colony building games. I love Surviving Mars, Frostpunk. Man, I used to eat up SimCity, and now I've been playing a little bit of Cities Skyline, a little bit of Planet Coaster, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm super into it, and it's my favorite thing to share with people. Love to jam out to some music. And who knows what's next? I'm totally down to take suggestions. I have a wish list posted on my Twitch of like my Steam games that I want to buy. But I mean, if you want me to play something, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. I think I'm going to do some Civilization 6 with some fluffies pretty soon. It's going to be great.
Okay. Closing us out. Got a question for you. What's your favorite convention? No, really, I mean, like, why is it your favorite convention? What led you to go there for the first time, and do you recommend others try it?
Well, that's going to be Campfire Tales in Oregon. You know, I like a lot of conventions, and if as far as hotel cons go, it's BLFC hands down. But overall conventions that are my favorite, Campfire Tales, my favorite capital F favorite thing. And if you want to know why, it's because it is disconnected from technology. You have to drive 3 miles to get cell phone service. It's old-fashioned, force you to socialize with your friends over a beer at a campfire kind of vibes. You know, you go swim at the water hole, you go back to your tent and you drink with your buddies and barbecue and just hang out, and it's awesome. Some people bring some music stuff and play music. It's usually like a movie somewhere. You can kind of just wander around. It's sort of like a furry Burning Man. It's just the coolest vibe. It is so great. And man, if you're ever needing to disconnect from the world, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. One of the best convention experiences I have ever had in my life. Literally a life-changing experience for me a few years ago when I was really stressed out. I can't overstate how great that convention is. And as I said, hotel cons, BLFC, I'm super biased. It's just something that I'm really passionate about, that con and the people there and the staff and just everything about that convention I'm super passionate about. And yeah.
All right, guys. This has been an interview with Ratchet the Fox and Bullet the Shep. And we'll be back soon with some more content for you. We're just dumb animals. So if you think of something interesting, shoot us a line. Let us know. And we'll do our best to make it happen. Otherwise, Ratchet, tell us about your social media.
So I got the Twitch and I got the Twitter. And those are the 2 best ways to get a hold of me. Anytime you've got any questions, shoot me a Twitter DM. Shoot me a message over YouTube. Shoot me a message on Twitch. I would love to have most of you join me on Twitch, though. I'm really trying to push through and get that affiliate status and really start, just making a lot of regular content for everybody. And, we'll have some fun together.
All right, guys. This has been Ratchet the Fox and Bullet the Shep. We're closing it out. Have a good night.